welcome back to my Royal Roots kitchen. Today we are making a broccoli salad, and I know to some that may not sound very exciting, but I promise you it is so delicious. My niece actually has made this for Thanksgiving the past couple of years, and it is so good that we have this on repeat all throughout the year. So it's definitely great to make to take to Thanksgiving, any holiday, honestly, because I feel like it's very versatile. Could be a great summertime side dish. But also is great for even like fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whichever. So we're gonna go ahead and get this started. I already have broccoli chopped up here. It's about 5 to 6 cups of broccoli. Or like 2 heads of broccoli would also work really well. So you want to get it super thin. I'm not sure if you can see it here. Really finely chopped up there. We don't want super big chunks in here. So chop up an onion here, really finely diced to add into this. Get rid of that. So as I was saying before, my niece has made this, and it was requested last year by me actually, because that's how much I love it. So I can't wait for you guys to try this. This red onion just really helps bring this salad together. There's really a lot of savory elements, but there's also some sweet elements in this as well. All right. And we're gonna do about, let's see, about 1/4 of a cup of onion, I think. And if you know my husband, you know that he loves onion, as do I, but he really loves it. So we're gonna put a little extra in there. And this is really making my eyes water a little bit. Woo! This onion is strong. Goodness. Got a couple chunks in here. All right, gonna set the rest of that aside. Woo! Gonna wash my hands after that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my onion into my broccoli. I actually haven't had this in a little while, so I'm really excited to eat this today. All right, so I've got my onion in here, and then we are gonna add shredded cheese. Now, typically I like to do really fine shred on it. It just mixes up a lot better in the salad. But today we do not have finely shredded cheese, so we're going to use what we have, and it's a little bit of a thicker shred, but it's okay. Sometimes you just have to use what you have, and this is what I already have shredded, so we're going to use it. And we're going to taste test it. I'm not sure where the cheese inspector is, but I'm kind of surprised she's not over here, because anytime she hears the word cheese, here's a bag, she'll come running. So be on the lookout and see if she comes in here to see what we're doing. And we're doing about a cup of it, so we're going to go ahead and add all of this in here. I had shredded up a block of cheese the other night, and so this is what is left over from that. We're going to set this over here. Get that out of our way. And then we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients in for the salad part before we do the dressing. And I got my little cheat sheet here. Gonna go and add about a cup of salted sunflower seeds. Definitely make sure they're salted. You could make it without the salted ones, but I do think the salt adds a little something to the salad. And then we're gonna add 1/4 of a cup of diced cranberry. All right, so we're adding in those sunflower seeds, making sure we get all of them in there. And then we are adding in our dried cranberries. And We're gonna do bacon or bacon bits. If you have real bacon, you can obviously use that, but 90% of the time, I don't always have bacon ready to go, and it's more of a time constraint than anything. So I just like to get the bacon bits. Whoops, that was way too many. Yikes. I mean, we like bacon, but that was a lot. All right, so we're gonna add about half a cup of the bacon bits. And if you get the, I think it's like the Hormel ones, I mean, it's pretty good. Honestly, I use this in a lot of recipes when I'm just in a pinch and I don't have bacon thawed out or don't want to take the time to cook bacon. So this is a really good little hack. We got our onion in there already. All right, so perfect. That is our salad base here. How delicious is that looking? So good. We're gonna set this aside for a second. Get out another bowl here. And we're gonna make our dressing. And we're gonna do about 3/4 cup of mayo. And I have a 3/4 cup here, but we're not gonna use it because that's how I roll. I just like to measure by visual. That's about 3/4 cup. And if we need more, we can add more. All right, we're gonna add about half a cup of sour cream. Hopefully there's about a half a cup left in this. We hope. Now, I love the squeeze tubes, but sometimes it makes it a little difficult to get everything out. So I think we got most of the sour cream out of here, and that's about half a cup. And we're gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar. And make sure it's white wine vinegar and not white vinegar because there is a difference. And you might be a little disappointed to use white vinegar. This is gonna have a little bit of a sweeter flavor and not as, I won't say tart. Vinegar is not tart, but a pungent taste, I guess, is what you would say. All right, so we got our vinegar in there, and I'm using 2 tablespoons of sugar. Again, just adding a little bit of sweetness to it. And then salt and pepper. Add to your taste there. It's about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And I like to do freshly ground pepper. And we're gonna go ahead. All right, so I think we've about got that mixed up right there. We're just out here making a mess. That's what we're doing. Welcome to my kitchen where we make a mess. That's just how it goes. All right. So we're just gonna do, as you can imagine, we're gonna add our dressing to our salad here. You could probably even experiment with adding other things besides dried cranberries. I mean, you could probably add dried blueberries, maybe even apples, because it feels like a very harvesty type salad. And so like dried apples might be good. Maybe even fresh apples. I don't know. That would be something I would have to try. All right, and we're just gonna get in here. I mean, it's hard to believe that Thanksgiving is just a few months away. It feels like, the year just started. So the year has definitely flown by. But the fall is my favorite time of the year, so I cannot wait. And that's one reason why I love fall so much, is because there's just some really good food to eat in the fall. I am ready for all of the roast, beef and noodles, chili, all the things. Like, basically have a countdown on so that as soon as it hits low 60s, 50s, we are making chili. But today we are making broccoli salad. Well, it needs to go in the refrigerator, but I feel like I have to taste it. So let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a taste. And yes, I'm eating out of the bowl. Man, that's good. There is a smokiness from that bacon, and then the onion, the sweet flavors that mix in with the savory. I just can't describe it to you, but you need to make this. You need to try it. Sean, thank you so much for bringing this to Thanksgiving a few years ago because it's one of our favorites. So I've tweaked it a little bit to just add a little more onion, a little more sunflower seeds, a little less sugar, which is hard to do, but go make this. You will not regret it. It is delicious. Bye. Thank you guys for coming to my kitchen. I hope you'll love this broccoli salad as much as we do, and we'll see you the next time around.